Steel sharpens steel, so hopefully it's bringing steel together.
Mm. How about potatoes rubbing in a sack? But potatoes rub
I
together,
don't think that ends well. I don't
they
think that ends
polish
well.
each
I'm
other.
a warrior,
The dirt
okay?
drops off, but you gotta eat. Warriors have to eat.
I
Mm.
know, and that's why I got farmer friends. Like I can hang out at the farm, but
Just the
ultimately I'm gonna
potato,
pick up the knife,
the
get the
potato.
machete, and I'm gonna head out.
You don't need a machete to peel potatoes. You could just do that with
Look,
a butter
unless you're
knife.
trying to make me soft, even though I'm actually the soft one and
You
she's
gotta
the
cook the
tough one.
potatoes.
Yeah, Cancer versus Aries. Can you believe we're friends? In New Jersey for 12 years, there was a dedicated group of people who never gave up on the bill. And so that when the political moment was there was something to present and something to push forward. So it speaks to like not giving up on your work because the time might not be right now, but this is how environmental justice movement intersects with movements, other social movements, right? And how we all need to build off each other's momentum to make sure that we're making a tangible difference for communities on the ground.
The only thing I will add is that we were able to establish a climate in the state in which EJ voices took the lead. And that wasn't easy to do. Like Maria said, this had a lot to do with the banner always being raised. The fact that EJ voices never stopped saying cumulative impacts, never stopped saying mandatory emissions reductions.
Well-intentioned whiteness often does not know exactly how to actually follow the leadership of Black and brown people. So we had to assert that over and over, um, which can be exhausting, right? Because we're also fighting for this historic bill, but having to defend our right to lead that work. So I think what it took was a lot of asserting our power and asserting that it matters who the narrator is and it matters who is giving the input, because I think people might think they understand what happens at a community, but unless you're on the ground, there's things you might trade away that to you are a big deal. But our communities and the details of how a bill is written, how any rule is made, that's what we're often sacrificed.
I never know about replication. I think replication might be something that foundations came up with because they want to see, work expand beyond maybe what its natural borders are. Um, I think that there's a really organic flow of ideas and information between EJ communities. When folks come together, you see how it happens. It's really like magic, right? I don't think that there's necessarily a way to transpose what happened in one place because it's a unique mixture. It's like alchemy, it's a unique mixture of circumstances that happen one place that allows something to happen, and you may not be able to replicate it other places. And I don't think that's ever really anyone's goal. Most communities want to do something that's specific that they need.
It's not about replicating, it's about building more. Like I would hope that in other EJ communities, they break they make history when they pass whatever they need. That we provide, that what we did in New Jersey provides a foundation that expands the realm of possibility, and that whoever passes another cumulative impacts law, that they go even further so that we can get the protections we actually need, because this is just one tiny step. And it's almost sad to think that this is historic in 2021. Like it shouldn't be that way. And so what I hope is that whatever community is able to build the right circumstances and build their power, that they can go much, much further, and then that we're looking to them to catch up.
First of all, I wouldn't be in this movement if it wasn't for relationships. I am really clear that it was because of organizers like Maria that I am doing this work now, because I was engaged, I was organized.
I can't imagine not having someone to come home to, if you will, because this movement is a lot. Like it's a lot to be facing polluters, to be facing colleagues, nationally, internationally, like other communities. Like I couldn't imagine not having like a home base, which I feel like Melissa has been for me, to be able to process everything, like all the learning. Because one thing about this movement is we're always learning. Like there's always new history, new nuance. Like there's so much to grow, and I know for me, I couldn't have grown by myself. Like I could have only grown by like the conversation and digging in with Melissa and having someone that honestly I feel like has my back no matter what, which is I think how we really build power. It's not just like having collaboration, it's about like deep trust and a relationship that I feel like relationship is getting overused now. But I mean like a full human relationship that's not just about the work. That's like about our whole lives and the fact that we've been shaped not just by environmental racism, but like racism. And I think with Melissa, like it's also being able to like connect in a way that like lets us connect outside of whiteness too, right? Because there's different racial aspects that we bring and that we were able to like I feel like we learned from each other to share each other's story and the way that it's different and maybe not like the world's told us, right? And that we can make our own relationship um outside of all the noise, if you will. I think one thing that does get overlooked is women's role in the environmental justice movement. Like there's a lot of I always hear about the fathers and grandfathers of the EJ, but I don't hear enough about the mothers and grandmothers and the sisters in the environmental justice movement. And I know that the women who do this work, have been able to help me grow. Like obviously Melissa being one of my home bases.
Oh, that was so good. Look at
Now
you.
you gotta do something. Can't just leave me out
Okay.
here by
I
myself, putting my
can't. Hold
feelings on.
on. I know. I'm like, I can't. I'm not. You're a Cancer.
Yo,
I'm an
you
Aries.
you
Like,
get emotional. You just need to be pushed, man.
listen. Right. You know that. Look, I
Yeah,
found
come
out.
on. You get mushy.
I think the laughter is one of the most important things. Like, we'd be having some really long, just intense day, right? Like fires burning, things raging, like incinerator smoke and and then, at the end of the day, we just huddling in her office, going through everything and just laughing, like
The laughter is all, and we've had so many stories, right? Like of weird stuff, honestly, that we've tried to do of hanging out in the farm eating peaches and just like shooting the shit, which
road
honestly,
trips. We had so
road
many road
trips where I
trips.
threw on my back and you had to drive the whole time. Mm.
Yep. Just the giggles. I think the giggles.